say come back again. Just stay with me, I promise we'll be okay. Wanna spend my life with you. You can make my dreams come true, yeah. Anything you like me to. Try to see I cry for you, yeah. Long as the sky is blue, you gon' always be my boo, yeah. I got the perfect view, as long as I'm looking at you, yeah.
Peace, 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 everybody. It is the Hoodmystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. Peace to everybody. The glorious day is Wednesday. It is the 16th, actually. Let me change that. It's the 16th, 2019. We are vibrating high. Resonating at a high level, and just want to discuss this information, deal with some astrology, crack open some cards, do some reading and things of that nature. I'll be here for as long as the people are here. Let me just change this date up here so we can get more in tune and not in the past. All right, so yeah. Today is Wednesday. Today we focus on Mercury and its particular aspects. And from there, we'll deal with some psychological things. And from there, we'll deal with some blue magic. And then from there, we'll read some cards and, you know, any questions, talk shit, whatever the case may be. We just deal with the daily energy reading and just see where this thing actually leads us. Only thing that's really required is that you just relax and chill and just settle in and you know, deal with this information. So Mercury is at an interesting position based on the fact that it has been through a lot with this conjunction to Saturn, and now it's on its way to a conjunction to Pluto, and then eventually it'll be conjunct the Sun. And then it'll be ready for another retrograde again. But up until that point, it's going through a lot of transformation and a lot of karma. And throughout this channel, we discuss the planets somewhat differently than mainstream astrology. I deal with the etymology and the mythology behind the planet. So understanding Mercury is much more of understanding your money and your commerce and your trade and your ancestral talent that you bring to the world. And you with your talent, you support your community, you support your family, and you also give positive vibrations to the world, whether it be through art, whether it be through, you know, cooking, whether it be through singing, whether it be through writing, you know, whether it be through chemical engineering, I don't know, you know, whatever your talent is that you bring to the world, this is what you're supposed to get into. But, you know, you know, it's always a but, you know, because that's not so simple for everybody, because everybody is doing something outside of their talent based upon society. Like you working at a call center and you selling dog food or something, but you work there because it give you good money. Then when you get off of work, it's like, you know, you coping with the fact that you selling dog food for 8 hours a day when you ain't brought to the earth to be talking on the phone selling dog food. So this is different. Mercury is much different than making a dollar. You know, it's commerce and it's trade, meaning that I have something of value and I should be compensated for it. And this conversation is for the people who don't necessarily know, okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm here to do, Hoodmystic. I hear that more than I hear, oh, I know exactly what I'm here to do. I know my purpose. I'm out here living my life like it's golden. 90% of the time, when it speaks to purpose and, you know, bringing your talents to the surface, most people are clueless in that realm. But I would say that you're not that clueless. I would say that you know exactly what you're brought here to do based upon your pleasure, based upon the things that you fucking like to do. So Mercury at the 17 degree mark of Capricorn is getting back to the basics. And I just want to do a quick update for my Google Notes subscribers, the people who are subscribed to the notes. I'm going to be doing a transition from Google Keep to Google Notes or Google Docs. And if you already subscribe to the notes, you don't have to worry about anything. I'll automatically add you. But the Google Docs allow me to have a long-standing document, and you could like search, or it's more functional. I could, you know, turn it into headings or edit it however I want to. It's just way more functional to be on Google Docs versus Google Keep. So all note subscribers will be directed to Google Docs, and you don't necessarily have to download anything with Google Docs as opposed to downloading Google Keep and things of that nature. So quick update. Now, back to Mercury at the 17th degree of Capricorn, getting back to the basics. Within all people is a desire to be close and intimate to one another. And society has literally blocked that off because we don't even necessarily know what that closeness and that intimacy is even about anymore, because we've been spending our lives chasing an illusion. We built a lot on this conversation. What's today? Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday, we've been dealing with the abstract concept of being a spiritual being, having a human experience, and the different ways that shows up, and the different ways that we simply forget that shit. And we are so human in our existence and things of that nature, and we're not focused on our spiritual, on our soul, and our different esoteric capabilities, because, you know, life is hard, or life is this, or I'm in a fucked up relationship, or I hate my job, etc., etc. So Mercury speaks deeper into the 17th degree mark of Capricorn. It speaks to renunciation. And renunciation speaks to solitude, or a nuanced form of solitude, where we understand what freedom is. And the key concept to freedom is to not give it away to other people. And to be free is a semblance of being alone, a semblance of understanding yourself. Life is so easy when you take your shit back. It's no longer my girlfriend. It's no longer my boyfriend. It's no longer my mama. It's no longer my daddy. It's completely me. I'm completely this person that I was born to be within myself, for good or bad. Because whatever happened on the human side of things, that shit is editable. That shit is a blank slate. But with that being a blank slate, we don't want to continue writing the same old shit on the board, right? We want to figure out a different way to look at this thing. And what's working for me is the immersion into the heart. I'm reading a book now called Love is a Fire. It's actually upstairs in the room. But, you know, it's all about love. And not love of somebody, but the deep love of self. And my dream speaks to this as well, I think, as my dream was simply a word and it was very abstract and I was doing a lot of things within my body, but what I was actually doing was changing myself at a molecular level. That was very clear in my dream, because I would be talking to something and I'm just like, what's going on here? And they said, we're changing you at a molecular level and everything is under construction. So don't expect anything. Like, don't expect people to walk into your store while it's under construction. We're changing your DNA at a molecular level. And I felt that, I understand that. And I'm just sharing that because maybe that's what's happening with you too. So ultimately, renunciation leads to immersion, and immersion is just the deep mental involvement of self, the deep mental involvement of the soul, the Atman, the inner self, as opposed to the physical self. I speak this way and I do what I do, but the reality is y'all don't even know the type of messages that I be getting from people when they tell me that they vibrate to this message and how it's relating to them in their personal life. Countless messages of I watch your videos, I listen to what you say, and I apply it to my life, and I was making, now I'm making double the amount of money. Now I can see the light out of I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is deep within myself. And, thank you. So where a lot of people, hate or feel a certain type of way or want to argue, there are a lot of people who are really simply dealing with their self. And that's the only purpose of this channel, is to point out the different ways that we can begin to deal with our soul and the benefits of that shit. So we want to escape from bondage. We want to release ourselves from inhibitions, because where you think your inhibitions are serving you, they are blocking you. They are not showing you the way. They're keeping you self-conscious, and you are unable to be relaxed. You are unable to be natural. You realize that this life is a game. Like I sat back, I was looking at my company's stock that I work for, and I'm like, this is a $6 billion company. Like $6 billion. And for me, for me, I ain't even the type of person, like, this shit is like a game to me. Every day I'm like, I'm ready for the firing. Cause the shit I ain't even fully engaged and in tune with the shit all the way. I'm there, I'm having a good time with it. I'm enjoying myself. I'm learning, and it's not stopping me or anything from anything that I'm doing. And it's a beautiful thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I be at the crib, I do what I gotta do, and it's just working out. You feel me? But I made it so that way. I very well could have been in a spot where, like, I could be thinking about it in a way where it's like, very self-conscious, everybody looking at me, everybody feel a certain type of way about me, or I'm out here working for the white man, or however a person want to look at their life, you feel me? When however your life is living, that shit is funny as hell. If you sat back and look at it and thought about the shit, you either completely out of your element or you doing something perfectly in tune with your soul. And it's so interesting, the fact, like, I do readings, like, what I'm saying? It's like something that I do, but in my job, it's like I'm literally doing readings. Like I'm helping people fix their computer problems and things of that nature. And it's a female company, so I'm talking to females constantly. You feel me? So, and it ain't saying like I only do readings for females, but a majority of the people that seek readings are females. So that's just the reality. Even though there are men that get readings, it's never a preference. It just is what it is. But with that being said, my job always wants to know how are you so good on the phone? but your paperwork is so shitty. I'm like the 3rd grade with that paperwork, man. I don't give a fuck. But I know that y'all listening to my calls, though. Every call is recorded. So I know, and I know that I'm fucking solving problems and everybody's getting off the phone satisfied. But I don't give a damn about this paperwork, though. Any type of situation that I've been in, I've always kept that level of like, this ain't really real. And it just really works for me. It keeps me in a particular space where I'm never locked in or self-conscious in a way like this shit is real, this shit really matter. You know, these people, you know, really feel a certain type of way about me and all of that shit. No. It's just a game, and if you sad, let me lift you up. If you need help. Another thing about my job that's interesting is that when you get a call and you get a problem, you have to solve it, no matter how difficult that shit is. And sometimes the nigga in me wants to hang up when those difficult calls from, but I realize, like I said, all my calls are recorded, monitored, that I can't hang up, and I gotta solve the problem. And so this is really helping me in my actual life because I like to give up. So where I'm at in my life in this job is that these lessons that I'm learning are teaching me, one, about wealth. You know, $6 billion corporation is teaching me that, you know, healing is something that can happen at any moment. Many times I've energy healed the people that have called me and, you know, released them of psychic energy, you know. And this is something that I'm doing without even, you know what I'm saying? It's just a natural thing. So I say all of this to say, not to talk about my job or no shit like that, but to tell you that everything in your life is for a reason, to teach you something. And once you learn it, you level up. And if you didn't learn the lesson, you'll repeat the lesson in the next job. You'll repeat the lesson in the next girlfriend. You'll repeat the lesson in the next situation, the next friendship, because you did not learn the lesson that you need to be very relaxed and very natural, because this life is full of illusion. It is an illusion, literally. And the only thing real is the soul. And in tuning into that is really your salvation. And this is an effort point where we have Mercury sextile Neptune, and we're trying to get to that point of intuition as opposed to 50,000 bullshit ass thoughts that don't mean shit, but then want to do spiritual protection rituals and things of that nature because such and such is fucking with me, or, you know, I hate my boss, or, you know, I'm so tired of my boyfriend. And so this is another point of what's happening, where you don't like people. You don't like yourself. You are not in tune with your darkness. You want everything to be fucking roses. And please explain to me what gave you that notion that this life is full of roses. Have you been isolated? Have you never left your neighborhood? Then that may be the case to make you think that life is, you know, supposed to be one way. But this shit is the wild, wild west. Always has been, always will be. That's kind of the idea of this place, to be in the wild, wild west. And so how do you max out in this environment? You got to learn the fucking cheat codes to the game. You got to know how to play the game. Somebody hand you a goddamn controller and say, play this game, and you get killed. You know, as soon as you take a left-hand turn, that shit is on you. You're not figuring out, you know, what's going on by looking at the world and then judging that shit. You got to figure out the world by looking at yourself. The most difficult thing to do is to establish clarity. And this is why I talk about clarity at least once a week. whenever we talking about Neptune, we bringing up clarity, because clarity is the thing that is necessary. People are feeling bad, right? Feeling a certain type of way when we all have the option to be clear and feel nothing, good nor bad, future nor past, present. Fucking walls, steps, handrail, computer, just regular shit. And then from there, we could establish some clarity of what we want. But if we are, so many people can be in the same room with you today, right? They'll be in the same room with you, but they'll be in 1996 where they were raped or violated, or they'll be in 2026 when they graduate from college, or and then you'll be like, well, it's January 16th, 2019. Like, let's focus on healing. Let's focus on some form of practice or knowledge or form. It's like, well, that sounds good, but I ain't really feeling it right now, or XYZ. My thing is, find people that are in tune with spirit completely, and if you're not the one that's in tune with spirit completely, then make that be your calling, make that be your goal. Clarity, knowledge is key, and also clarity, because you got to understand about knowledge within itself is just simply information within itself. You can't necessarily call it valuable, right? Like, the people who created the gas chamber, or the people who build prisons, you would imagine that takes knowledge, right? But then they'll create little things, psychological things that drive you crazy. Like, what color incites violence between these people? Oh, sea green. Let's paint the whole prison walls sea green then. And then people take knowledge and do fucked up experiments and things of that nature. So we have to understand this shit is about love. This shit is about heart, because y'all listen to people on YouTube that got knowledge and information, but their hearts is so fucked up, and y'all don't even see it, because knowledge is everything to y'all. Information is everything to y'all. But what is their relationship about? What is their future about in the form of how they treat their children, and everything all considered. Because it can't just be about knowledge. Because it can't be about knowledge. It has to be something very much pure. It has to be something that allows you to be close and intimate and deal with the basics of life. Because if me and you going to sit and exchange information, but we can't hug at the end of it, or, exchange, we can't break bread or anything like that. Like, I'm going to be offended. And that's just me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, me, my whole purpose is love. Like, anybody who knows me or experiences me is pure love. So therefore, when I don't get that shit in return completely, I feel a certain type of way. And therefore, it has to be, like we were talking about before with Mercury, a release from that. And where I'm trying to love other people, I have to love myself more. Because in this time, living in the wild, wild west, you feel me? You think this not the wild, wild west. You think this shit is not one of them, apocalyptic, end of the world thrillers. Then you got shit really mistaken out here. Crazy shit is going on. Crazy shit been going on. But you might be oblivious to it because your neighborhood is paved and nice and ain't nobody killing in your neighborhood. So everything is Gucci and copacetic. But to understand this world and not be swallowed up with it, you have to deal with the form of light. And that light is found deep within your heart. And that's kind of what the focus has been, as opposed to, you know, I don't want to deal with my heart. My heart is broken, or whatever the case may be. Also, the level of being present. Just some quotes. I don't know, for the people who be watching this that like the screenshot, or I like quotes, man. Quotes. I'm like that person in what's that movie with Oprah? Nah, it's new, where she was doing magic. A Wrinkle in Time. I'm the one chick who is like, you need to get up, get out, and get something by Outkast. Mrs. What? That's who I am. So it's never another person's darkness that like on mamas, like on all mamas, if you in a real life situation and a person is like literally talking to you about somebody else's darkness, throw on your best track shoes and run, because that person is oblivious to their darkness and they'll have you in a world of trouble. See, everything that's happened right now is a mirror. And if shit ain't making you laugh, and shit ain't making you feel good, and shit ain't making you vibrate high, then it's some shit that you need to work on. Like, it's some shit that I need to work on. I need to change myself at a deep molecular level, because the reality of it is that I have a wife and 3 children, and they ain't looking at me like, you know, let's give daddy a break. let's dad relax. Nah. They on it, and I want to give it. I want to provide, but I know that there is shit within me that will prevent that shit. And if I can't be the person that I need to be with my children, or with my wife, or in my life for myself, then I'ma put that shit off on them. Oh, y'all always da, and y'all never give me a break, and you know, whatever. All of this stupid shit, because I wasn't fully prepared of what I needed to do, and it was easy for me to throw the shit off on them. And this is just me being open, you know what I'm saying? Honest, like how I could see shit playing out. I could see shit playing out if I hold resentment and things of that nature, you know, and where that shit could lead to. And I can feel myself being in the presence and dealing with deep love and saying, all right, Kyrie, it's shit that you need to do. How about you start doing that shit, my nigga? And stop complaining and stop worrying about what a person expected you. How about you start expecting some popping shit from yourself, and don't worry about shit. We got you. Okay, I can handle that. I can handle that. All right. So, Blue Magic, part 3. Part 1, we established the abstract form of money in the form of the color blue. Part 2, we created, or we spoke about the creation of a particular money spirit or a money deity, because we understand that money, there is no big pot of money that rich people only have access to, and they go and they pull little monies out and wave it in front of poor people. That's not how money work. Where if you have a certain amount of money, where the fuck is it? Can you hold it? Can you grasp it? You know, and if you can, then you don't really have a lot, right? So the idea of money is that it is vast, it's abstract, it's just, you know, something that exists in the world. If you have an idea like, you know, I have a lot of money, then that's just your simple idea. If you'll be like, you know, I got a lot of money and I spent it all on something, then you're just a dumbass no matter how much money you've had. If you have $10 and you spend all of that $10 on something, you're an idiot. If you have $10 million and you spend that whole $10 million on something, you're an idiot. So anybody who knows how to grow, maintain, and function with money, we call those people rich or wealthy. Anybody who doesn't know how to grow, maintain, or handle that money, we call those people poor. And so understanding the energy of movement, the energy of money. Yesterday we talked about movement. getting up and moving, money coming in, money coming out, investing in yourself. Today, we talking more on the level of inhibition. Or also, another thing that we talked about yesterday, just like a quick review, is investing in your pleasures. You know, and we talked about that a little bit earlier today, with Mercury in the 17th degree, with a level of inhibition. Like, if you focused on the shit that you love to do and invested in that, it's easy to promote some shit that you know shit about and you feel good about and you want to get it out there. Like, you know, I was gonna say some crazy shit, man, and I just paused myself, man, because I know what y'all be liking to do at night. I need to start selling that shit and start telling people the type of shit, the experiences that you be having with your little toys and things of that nature, because that's what you have pleasure out of, and releasing yourself out of inhibitions and things of that nature. Or you got egos and shit like that, and I understand you don't want to break those egos, but we all have simple pleasures in life that we could begin to exploit, as opposed to, you know, use it as a form of like a drug habit or some shit like that. You know, it's something that we could actually do to make money off of it. So it's a lot of different things we can make money off of now in 2019 if you opened your mind up to it. It's a lot of people that's open to different ideas. The wilder, the better. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, if you have restraints and blocks and your ego is like, I don't want people to look at me weird and things of that nature, then you'll stay in your level of whatever, you know. But another thing is, part 3, I want to deal with the feelings of money. How do you feel about money, you know? If you got money issues today, do you understand the nature of money, or are you repelling money at a deep subconscious level? Do you not like what money represents on people? Or another thing, like when rich people pull up, do you hate them? Like, do you not like rich people? Is there something inherently evil to rich people that you feel like when you watch people on Instagram, do you be just trying to figure out what blood sacrifice they did, or, you know, who's whose sexual ritual they partook in to get to their level of success, because only rich people are evil? Or, you know, I don't know how you look at that shit, because, you know, part of this is me joking, but part of this is me dealing with my reality. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with my internal, you know, negative thought beliefs that rich people are inherently evil, because I grew up inherently poor. I grew up inherently check to check. I grew up every month, you know, feeling like, damn, I don't know if the rent gonna get paid, and I was like fucking 7. You feel me? Like, I don't, like, at 7 you shouldn't be worried about, you know, the rent. You shouldn't be worried about eviction notices and shit like that. You should be, you know, like, if you affecting your kids financially, and maybe you got children and you pull that negative, I ain't got no money shit on them, oh man, stop. Don't tell your kids you don't got no money. Don't tell your kids that you struggling with money. Make your kids think that money is no object. Create a vibration of happiness and joy that is not pertaining to fucking money. I purposely don't buy my kids toys, because what the fuck is a toy? I look at a toy and I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a whole brother that you can get to know. Y'all gonna talk to each other. Y'all gonna learn with each other. Y'all gonna play with each other. Y'all gonna fight each other. I'd be goddamn if y'all sit and be playing with some toy, and they don't even like toys. Let's get that clear. They don't give a hell. They don't give a damn about toys. So therefore, I would be an idiot to continuously buy them, and they don't care about it. They care about each other, and that's all I want. You know what I'm saying? They love each other. They know each other. They understand each other. They have each other. Because I grew up a only child for the most part. So I had, you know, everything that I could want, but I didn't have a brother or a sibling or somebody, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm trying to learn, you know what I'm saying, and try to figure out my kids in different ways to teach them and things of that nature outside of fucking money. Because that'll be some shit, you know what I'm saying, to pass that down to this generation, and I fucking refuse. You understand what I'm saying? Like, one thing my child does know, like, you know what I'm saying, they see me get up, get out, and do shit on the daily, whether it's going to work, going to school. Like, I don't feel like my kids is going to grow up and be lazy by the example that I'm setting for them. Like, I don't know, maybe they will, but, you know, I'm just really thinking about ancestral wealth and that level of what type of children do I want to have, and I don't want my children to be no workers. So therefore, I got to do everything that I got to do to prepare them to be bosses and things of that nature. And for me to get to this level of anything that I ever wanted to do with my children right now, I got to examine all of my negative feelings and thoughts surrounding money and get the fuck rid of them. All of them. All of them. I have to get rid of all of the negative feelings, and that's what the ritual is about. That's what the lunar eclipse about, because it has to be a point of getting rid of the negative things and tapping in to all of the ancestral birthright surrounding fortune, wealth, success, talent, community, love, etc., etc., etc. And understanding wherever you're at in life, the wealth that you have in this moment is because at a subconscious level, this is what you feel you deeply deserve. And so no matter what you do, no matter how hard you grind, until you edit and change at a molecular level what you deeply deserve through ritual, because y'all, I know y'all passive, super conscious niggas can just think things into existence and, you know, manifest things and things of that nature, and bravo to you. But when I want some shit to stick, I ritualize it. And so that's just me. But everybody does their own thing. You feel me? So therefore, just to surmise, the wealth that you have is the wealth that you deeply deserve at a deep subconscious level. And so blue magic, hopefully, is the changing of those deep subconscious beliefs surrounding money and re-examining that shit, and then inputting alternative beliefs into your mind, into your deep subconscious, through meditation, through ritualization, through really tapping into your prosperity. And any type of spell, any type of ritual, anything that you feel is pertinent or powerful, it has to be, you know, something that is done consistently. Can't just do this shit for one day. So that was the daily energy reading for January 16th. So for everybody who is like wanting the information on the daily energy reading, that part is done. Now we just kind of kick back and ask questions. I got my cards. If anybody, you know, I mean, not to say that I'm doing a reading for people or anything like that. I'm just going to do, like, you know how we used to do like daily energy readings and pull cards, but I will answer questions. Cause we done did all types of shit for money and still be in the same spot. Like, hell no, this shit gonna have to change. Cause, you know, it don't matter what system you working with, you know, however you get money, we all get money in different various ways. But what has to change is the subconscious beliefs behind what we doing with it and how we moving with it. So it's interesting. The Six of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius. which isn't far off. Mercury is in Capricorn in Western astrology, but that card is called science, and it's a holistic science. It is a science of all realms and all realities. And what's the truest science in the world? Before we go into Pisces, is the science of change. And if you're not into the science of change, then you are asleep. You sleep, dog. You trying to have shit the same way you want it to be in 1956. You need to just kind of leave those people alone, because they don't understand the science of change. Or maybe you that type of person where you just want everything to be the same and don't want things to change. And oh my God, I think things are changing. What am I going to do? Change the fuck with it. Change the fuck with it. So definitely on point. The next card I'm pulling, I pull 6 cards. 5 of Cups, disappointment, Mars and Scorpio. Shit, man. As I'm sitting and thinking about it, like, you know, everything that we're talking about, disappointment, like, you know, you got 30-year-old people still trying to get over some shit that happened when they was 15, when they asked Sarah to the dance and she said no with your old ugly ass. And that just, you know, they've been ugly for the past 15 years. And they just really accepted the fact that they ugly, you know. And then like all types of things where we're trying to change, or wherever we went broke, or, you know, whatever, you know, some shit, some traumatic shit happens, and we can't fucking change or move, and we were just like, you know, sure, she called me ugly though, like, you know, kind of ugly though, bro, get over it. Like, ugly niggas can win though still too, you know. So this is always a vibration. I love this card, the Sun. Love this card, where you unapologetically loving something, you know. And you can't, so change, disappointment, and then unapologetically loving, I feel like it's a nice flow to it, because it's like, well, the Sun ain't gonna be like, well, Lisa called me ugly back in the 15th century, so I ain't gonna come up today. Fuck y'all. The Sun come up every day, no matter what. It's the consistency of love. And, you know, whether my wife hate me, whether my children hate me, they still gonna get this love. They still gonna get it. It don't matter. I can't not love them. You understand what I'm saying? And the whole point is to learn how to love myself the way I love others. And, you know, the Sun actually gets its heat by combusting within itself. And so that combustion within itself, you know, heats up the whole universe, or tries to, as best as it could. You know, it can't reach, you know, Neptune and Pluto and shit like that. It's cold as a mug. But, you know, if you're close to the Sun, you get to feel that vibration. So it's just a level of love and understanding love on an esoteric level. Love that card. Love this card too, baby. Queen of Dis. This my girl right here. We got a thing. We do got a. But is there any deserts in your life? I've been like researching in different things of that nature, and I guess a level of Mercury and Sagittarius is a level of desert, or feeling alone, or isolated, or not feeling a part of, but then using that shit to be an excuse to motherfucking pity party yourself and motherfucking throw, you know, hurt yourself or make yourself feel bad, right? The Queen of Dis is saying, okay, I'm in a desert, so this is a perfect opportunity to love myself and boss up, and I'm gonna just create this whole environment within this desert. I'm gonna have my goat, I'm gonna have my world, I'm gonna have my staff, I'm gonna have everything that I want, because ain't nobody around me to fuck my shit up. So it's one or two ways of how you want to look at it. That's what the Queen of Dis is pointing to. I gotta pull 2 cards with this because this card scares me. I see this card, I get a little shook. I'm not gonna lie, cause somebody lying. The 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords, which is the moon in Aquarius. So the 7 of Swords is any nigga that come to you like, I'ma love you forever. No matter what you do, girl. I don't care how much weight you gain. I don't care how bad you treat me. I'ma just love you. And in that moment, he be really wanting the draws and he be really feeling that shit. You feel me what I'm saying? But what's the interesting thing about this card that the 6 of Swords has in common? The 7 of Swords is also ruled by Aquarius, but it's the moon on top of Aquarius, meaning that whatever you hold to be true and that will sustain you forever, you fucked up. Because nothing is forever, right? Everything changes. So the idea that you're gonna stand on this rock forever, right? I'm gonna stand on this rock forever and everything's gonna be fine. I got everything that I need on this rock or whatever. Ain't nothing gonna change. And then the goddamn tidal wave come. You understand what I'm saying? It's just the reality. So if you believe a moon in Aquarius person, if you believe that shit, that's on you. But it's not, it just can't be ascertained or built upon. Nothing is forever. And I know we want to try and we want to, especially now in 2019 with all this technology and shit and all of these different diets and supplements and little sneaky shit you done learned on Instagram to have an appearance of a certain shit. So but even all of that, with all of that said, it all falls down. You know, it's just a normal part of life. And so to deal with this, to neutralize this energy, to understand this energy in full, we get it tied up and rolled up into, you know, another major arcana card, the Art. And we can kind of finish with that. And what that actually does is ties it all up because we all stir it all into a pot. We mix it all up and see what comes out of it. Because within my pot is a lot of pain, all this bullshit or whatever. But it's also a lot of good shit that's going on in it. And it's just a big ass gumbo. And it's such as life. And it's a creative expression that, you know, I put out for the world to see, and hopefully that people vibrate with it and things of that nature. But you know, it's something for me to be proud of. It's my little piece of contribution. It's my art. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say that we all have a particular art to put out into the world, and hopefully, you know, this is one of the spots that helps you cultivate your art. And so I feel like that was a good, accurate reading for the day. Definitely tied into the things that we were talking to. I pulled those cards at random. Over here, if you're interested in getting a tarot reading or anything like that, over here is my little prices and things of that nature. If you're interested in booking, all you got to do is go to www.hoodmystic.com. The first tab is to schedule a reading, or if you want to go hit up the menu button if you're on your phone, the first tab will be to schedule a reading, and from there it's intuitive. You can't book a time that I'm not available, so all the times there I'm available, so you don't have to email me and ask me, are you available? It's all there, so you know, check me out. So are there any questions, or did I cover everything? What's the question? Oh shit. Do I be speaking like with a lot of fancy terms and shit? Because if I do, I so apologize. Do I? Shit. Alright. Yeah, I need to what I was, it is no real good sources on astrology, because astrology is purely subjective. I could think that the moon stand for Fat Albert. I could think that the sun stand for The sun stand for Sean Connery. And Venus stand for Ace Ventura. And I could create a whole astrology around creative aspects or whatever, and have a whole astrology, and people would be like, "You ever heard of Hoodmystic astrology?" Da 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 da. But I don't think that when it comes to astrology, you have to start off. You just have to find something and read it and study it like it's the truth, and then throw that away. Find something else, read it, and study it with the truth, because it's so abstract that you gotta find the laser point accuracy of what each planet is talking about and what each sign is talking about. And the creation of astrology is an incorporation of mythology. And so mythology is how we explain the human body. And so therefore, you may not know shit about astrology, but you know shit about mythology. And once you study astrology, it's like, oh, I can understand that very easily now, and things of that nature. But what I would say is just stick with it. Like, don't view yourself as like, oh, I need to learn as much as this person, or I need to speak away as this person, because this is just how I normally talk, where I don't even realize that I'm even saying nothing profound or anything, or like I'm saying something outside of normal English, but it's just a normal thing that I've really been doing. Been studying astrology since I was 15. I'm 34 now, so what? That's 19 years. So I know I look young, but I'm very much of a OG in this shit. So it's like, it's just a normal everyday studying application. Okay, that made sense. That don't make sense. That makes sense. That don't make sense. To the point now that, you know, I'm still writing. I'm still trying to understand this shit, because I'm like going to be talking this shit 40 years from now, just having this same conversation with somebody like, man, I don't fucking know. I'm still trying to figure it out. This is why we study. This is why we try to build, and not try to use other people's examples of astrology and make that be our base for understanding, when they didn't fucking know either. So we're learning together. We're learning together. I practice fasting. Do I practice fasting? Of course I practice fasting. I think Ramadan, I did Ramadan hard body, all the whole thing. Like, I didn't eat shit past 7. Then it got to a point, right, where I just didn't eat. Like, I just stopped eating, you know. I definitely I feed off of solar energy and things of that nature, and to do that you have to stop eating. And so my relationship with food is not fucking strong. If a woman ever tried to get me with like food, she would, like, you know how when you be dating and girls be like, oh, I just want to cook you something, and I'm just like, you just got the wrong nigga, because I'm just not going never, like, even if you can cook good, I'm gonna just be mad, because I'm gonna just be like, you just trying to get me fat and undesirable, so I'm not gonna deal with you. But yeah, I don't really like food, so I can eat rice all day and shit. Like, I'm weird. How do I deal with the 7 of Swords? I'm just weird and eclectic, and I like to laugh and have fun. And when shit falls down, I laugh. Like, when, like, if I'm watching a horror movie and things of that nature, and shit gets wild, I start laughing. Like, this shit is interesting and funny. Because everything changes, and I could be a real sad person. Like, I could begin to talk about my life and frame it in such a way that I have you like, damn, bro, you need a hug or something, bro. Damn, 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 fucked up. Damn, she did that. You know, I could frame my shit like that. I'm making a choice based upon information that I've kind of took in, that laughter is a higher vibration than sadness, trauma, and things of that nature. So I really embody that throughout my day. I laugh so much. Everything is so funny. But that's how I get through that moon and Aquarius energy for sure. Oh yeah, I eat the. See, you said add beans to the rice, but you ain't talking to my wife though. My wife, my wife and my baby, they be like, damn. They like I be trying to chill off the beans, cause you know beans will have you on that flatulence in the middle of the night. So it's just like, that's the worst thing. I think, like, you know, you can't even control that shit, and you could just be with your dream girl and just fall asleep and just be just blowing that shit up, and it's just like you don't even know what happened because you was asleep. You was just farting that whole night. Do girls fart at night? I never seen it. I would.
I mean, you're human. We're human. Like, if somebody doesn't fart, I think you holding your fart, your stomach.
Oh, I'm a hold my fart in. I'm a hold my shit in. I know, but I ain't about to have like that'll ruin the whole evening. Now. That would ruin the whole evening. You can't excuse me. You on a hot date and you let one rip. It's over. Like, you gotta hold that drink.
I guess I'm just weird then.
You gotta hold it. I don't know how we got on that. Any more questions? They was talking about beans.
I guess I'm just weird then.
Yeah, I'm holding it. I ain't never heard you fart in this whole 3 years. and even if you have farted, I blocked it out my memory. I done straight broke up with chicks. One fart. Fuck that. Like, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I can't. I don't know. Any more questions? We about to start our day. We starting our day late on a Wednesday, but we start our day early. We gotta mix it up. I'm just joking. I would never break up with no girl for farting. That's a joke. I'm gonna look at you weird and strange though for a minute till I get that shit out my head. It's not that I don't think that farts is bad for girls. It's just that I don't never see it. Like, I never experience, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like seeing something weird and like something different, and it's just like,
because that's not considered ladylike.
Yeah, but what if it stink though? It's like you get to see that real person, like, especially she's like super bad, and then she let it rip, and it just smells super. You gonna start to think. Yeah, right? Like, why you smell like that? Like, something ain't all the way right with you.
But that's what you want to get to. You want people to come there.
Kim, you should hit me up on the email. We need some recipes, like, for sure. Oh my goodness. I need to get over that. Like, it's some shit that I need to deal with. Farting is one of them. We all got things. Interest. Well, we've been on here for an hour. We had a good build. I'll be here tomorrow to talk about, to finish up this Blue Magic series. I was going to break this Blue Magic up in 4 parts. So Blue Magic Part 4 is coming up tomorrow. We're going to conclude this series, and I think Friday we'll just do an overview and just document it and just have the one Blue Magic Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know, it'll be something for the future that people can look at. Maybe it works for you, maybe it don't, but you know, I'm liking the setup. I'm liking like the anticipation of it all and powerful energy of anticipation. Shout out to Already Famous for looking out in the super chat, $5 donation. You know, I appreciate that. 3782 Cap ascending, Pisces sun, Leo moon. That's interesting. That placement is interesting. Already famous, email me. I gotta look at that real quick. I want to look at that for a second, because just those placements alone speak a lot. And the name already famous, ENT. Email me at hoodmystic@gmail.com. Let's build, let's talk. Peace to everybody though that was joining me on the live. Anybody that watched this video in the future, to look out, like say for instance you gain from this video and things of that nature. What I would ask is that you please share this video as much as you can. That's what I'm gonna be asking all 2019, that you kind of make it a goal to share. I don't understand why you wouldn't or couldn't share the video, like unless you didn't want to be associated, that'd be crazy to me, but whatever. But please share this video. That's all I ask. But other than that, everybody have a wonderful Wednesday. Be sure to email me. Be sure to join me on Slack, so we can continue this build. We can talk more about this video or whatever we can kind of conjure up on Slack. Let's try to conjure it up. But thank you. We did some beautiful things yesterday. I think we connected 2 Texas people with the kind of same ideals, and it was like a beautiful thing. And we had some other little conversations on Slack that was really good. But you know, join us for everything that we got going on. We're trying to grow. We're trying to build here at the hoodmystic.com. And you know how I get. I don't like to say bye, but bye.